Hello, my name is Danish Khairulzaman, and this is the class for History of Multimedia, Dmm23103. I'll be talking about the evolution of television, and this is the evolution. In 1860, the pentelegraph became the first machine to transmit image electronically, and this is the picture, invented by Italian physics Professor Giovanni Caselli. The next one is Scottish engineer John Logie Baird, invented the first working TV in 1934. And this is the picture. Baird's first invention could transmit the outline of an image a few feet away. In 1935, he demonstrated his invention to the public by successfully transmitting an image of a ventriloquist dummy. The next one, in 1929, the Baird televisor became the first television sold commercially in 1929. This is the picture. And 1930, the Marconi 7 item only the rich could afford. The TV set sold for £100 or $130, which was half an average annual salary in the 1930s. 1948, the popularity of television like this Motorola Golden View boomed. Motorola Golden View was the most popular 7-inch television in the late 1940s and early 1950s. It came in both tabletop and portable cabinets, and it was one of the cheapest TVs available at the time. 1950, they invented Raytheon M1601. The 16-inch circular screen on this American television looks unusual to us. Most cathode ray tubes at this time had circular faces on which a rectangular picture was produced. 1960, bizarre TV designs, including the Home Entertainment Center. Made in West Germany, the Kuba Comet, as seen above, was meant to fulfill all consumer entertainment needs. Reminiscence of a sailboat in design, the Cuba Comet included both a phonograph and television tuner. In 1970s, black and white TVs like the Marconi phone monochrome. The 1970s was also a revolutionary time for the power of television in the public consciousness. 1976, Sinclair Microvision offering portable television for the first time. Spiegel said for older generation, TV meant a box in the living room and a broadcast schedule with shows at a predictable times. 1980 to 1990, TVs such as Philips 21st became a staple in most homes. This is the example. The invention of video games and VHS tapes in the 70s became even more popular over the next 2 decades. Americans celebrated pop culture together through the creation of channels. In 2000, they invented the first flat screen TVs. High definition replaced standard definition. Smart TVs offered a combination of both traditional television and the plethora of growing streaming services. During 2010, companies like Sony tested a new dimension in the living room with the creation of its 3D TVs. Another rising technology, Spiegel said, streaming services and mobile platforms in the 2010s have changed the way people interact with screens. A person no longer needs a TV now to watch television. TV is now often consumed outside the home on small mobile screens, on jumbotrons at sports areas or other public spaces. It has also led to increased interaction between the consumer and the media they consume. And a few years later, in 2020, 4K TV came out, and a few more years 8K TV may have arrived. And now it's the history. The history is This is an image of John Logibet, which was one of the inventors of the first television. Three inventors named Philo Farnsworth, John Baird, and Charles Jenkins had been the inventors of the first television in 1927. Even though the first electronic television was first demonstrated in San Antonio on September 7, 1927 by Philo Taylor, the mechanical television was demonstrated by John Logie Baird in England and Charles Francis Jenkins in the US earlier in the 1920s. The reason for this invention was that Philo Farnsworth had lived in the house without electricity until he was 14 years old, so he came up with a solution. The first television sets in 1927 were huge, with tiny screens and had scrolls on the sides of them. They were big and box-like and the size of a refrigerator. The picture was not color but black and white. The first mechanical television scanned image using a rotating disc with holes in a spiral pattern. This is the rest of the TV they had invented until now. And the impacts of television, they have a negative way and also a positive way. The negative effects is adults who care about children developing positive life skills need to be aware of the various messages and ideals being conveyed to children through a variety of media. As early as 1984, the American Academy of Pediatrics cautioned adults concerning the potential of television viewing to promote violence, obesity, sexual activity, drug use, and ethnic stereotyping. The Academy's policy statement in 1995 confirmed that frequent viewers become desensitized to violence and believe that violence is a justifiable response to problems, and that television viewing is related to obesity and lower academic performance. This is a positive effect. Positive effect is by watching TV, they can learn good things. Television is not all bad. There are several informative shows that can help in keeping a person updated of current affairs in the country and the world. Educational and values promoted shows serve as wonderful learning resource that assist in intellectual growth of a person. The next one is television is a source of inspiration. There are documentary shows that they are dedicated to artists, scientists, and other public celebrities who have been known in the history of their commendable works. Such presentations inspire people to do good deeds and achieve a lot in their life. A few shows organize a debate on a burning problem in the society and what each citizen can do to resolve it. The next one is what's next. What's next? As seen in the picture, in the future, I imagine that the television to be without a screen but projected into the air. I also think that in the future we'll be able to touch a projected screen with our fingers. Many people have different expectations for the future television. Sony have improved on this. They unveiled a massive 16K, 17 feet tall and 63 feet wide TV last year with technology they call crystal LED display system. And the next one they are planning to do is forget 8K TV. The world are planning to make a 32K TV after the 16K TV. And the expectation starts with understanding what our users are thinking, feeling, and doing what they value. With the focus on understanding the needs of people, they design ideal experiences that inspire and compel. And this is the list of reference that I researched for my assignment, and that is all from me. Thank you.